Judgment.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Dan Bauer. I'm here with SERVPRO's Awesome Advent, which is basically this. We're going live every weekday in December at 10:10 a.m., trying to bring a little positivity and holiday cheer to people's lives in this crazy, weird year. And one way that we're doing that is we've been talking to all sorts of really cool organizations that are right here in Western New York doing awesome work every single day. And that's who we're talking to today, Girls on the Run. Girls on the Run was founded back in 1996, which, believe it or not, somehow this is going to make you feel old. That was 24 years ago. Their founder, Molly Barker, she started this group in part. She had a concept she calls the girl box. She wanted to help girls get out of it. It's this imaginary place where girls go, usually, starting around adolescence, where they get really sort of boxed in by stereotypes, assumptions about who they are. They can, to put it another way, as one board member had said to me, they start to feel pressure not to be who they really are, but who they think society expects them to be. And Girls on the Run was meant to be a corrective to that through all sorts of things, but especially through running. And I just thought that was so cool. I really wanted to learn more. So we've got Julia Spitz here. She is the board president of Girls on the Run Buffalo. Julia, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, and we should recruit you. That was a great intro.
I was going to ask, did I get it right? Why don't you explain to the people at home in more depth what Girls on the Run is?
So you nailed the origin story. We're a national organization, so that was how our founder founded this national organization. Our local chapter was founded by two wonderful women, Katie Joyce and Megan Kavanaugh. They are lifelong friends and actually running buddies, and they heard about this program, and they said, we've got to bring it to Buffalo. And they started it very grassroots. Like two women started an organization. They ran it out of one of their garages, and now we're in pretty much every school in Western New York and beyond. So they really took something grassroots and made it really impactful and really big.
Awesome. And how did you get involved personally?
I'm kind of a long, convoluted story. I used to be on the board of East Hill Foundation, which is a medium-sized family foundation that gives away grants in lots of areas, but mostly in Western New York. And I did a site visit. When people apply for a grant, they assign a board member to go to that not-for-profit and interview them and ask them questions. And one of the site visits I had one year was with Girls on the Run. And I just loved the organization. And I really connected with the two women, Megan and Katie, that run it. And we had a lot of mutual connections, it turns out. And so over the years, we stayed in touch. And eventually they invited me to join their board. And at the time I was a little overcommitted in the board space, but when I had more time, I contacted them back and I said, I've got a little more free time. Does the offer still stand? And they had me, so.
Great. Let's make this a little bit more concrete for people. Well, what is like a day in the life of Girls on the Run look like? Like what have you guys done this year? Because I know it's been sort of a crazy year.
So a normal Girls on the Run season. Sorry, we're a dog-friendly office.
No, my dog is downstairs barking right now. I'm glad he. You can bring the dog on if you want. It's totally okay.
If he comes over here, I will pick him up and I will show the world his cuteness.
Yes, please.
He's not mine, but I wish he was. A normal Girls on the Run season, pretty much all schools in Western New York have at least one Girls on the Run team. And it's about 20 girls and 2 volunteer coaches, often parents or teachers, but not always. And they go through a curriculum of learning to run a 5K from scratch. And these are girls anywhere from 3rd grade through 8th grade. So we're talking little people running a 5K. That's a big deal for them. And it's not just about the running though. Throughout the curriculum, they work on things like positive body image, healthy eating habits, stopping the gossip chain, things that frankly, I wish as a young girl I had in my life. This year we had to change a little bit due to COVID. So we had half the team size. So there were 10 girls per team. Some schools, chose not to participate because back when we were starting our season, we didn't really know as much about COVID as we know now. But we had a great, successful, smaller, shorter season, doing pretty much the same thing. It's just we did it all outdoors, absolutely nothing indoors. obviously girls were wearing masks. And we kind of just changed our program so that there was no physical contact and everything was outside, and it went great. We were so thrilled with the outcome. And rather than a big final 5K, which we would have in a normal season, we're actually Western New York's largest 5K is the Girls on the Run 5K.
Wow.
We did a virtual 5K, and we supplied every team with a box, a 5K in the box. So they had, all the fun stuff you would have with their 5K, but they did it as their individual teams as opposed to a big community 5K.
Sure. That's cool. I mean, it sounds like you guys really adapted. You had the virtual 5K I knew about, and there was a virtual event just last month, wasn't there?
Yes, there was we normally have a Rock the Runway event in fall, which is a athleisure fashion show. It's normally fleet feet and half, and all the proceeds of the event benefit our scholarship fund. This year we did it virtually with half and did kind of a virtual fashion show, and all the proceeds again went to our scholarship fund. It's important to us. We've never turned down a girl who can't pay for our program. And we have no plans to ever turn down a girl who can't pay for our program. So building our scholarship fund is a core part of what we do.
Sure. That's awesome. I'm going to ask the question that I'm sure is on people's minds that you've probably got before. Certainly on my mind as someone who ate 2 slices of pizza for lunch, but why running? What about running is so special that it kind of animates this program?
Well, for me, and I'm going to be honest, I am not a runner. I am a volunteer coach. I'm a board member. I am not a passionate runner. Most of the people involved in the organization are. But I think from my perspective, the running is easy, affordable. You don't need equipment. You don't need, and a lot of our schools, they might not have the greatest track and field or the greatest fields or the greatest gym, but anyone, especially because we supply the sneakers, anyone can get a pair of sneakers and go for a run. It's very low maintenance, low requirement. Doesn't matter who you are or where you live, you can make that happen. And so running is a great, easy conduit to reach girls and give them a concrete ending. So you start most of them having that run because they're so young, and you end with a 5K. You end with an accomplishment that you did. Like you did that, you earned that, you worked for that. And you didn't need a big fancy field or a bunch of equipment. It makes it more available to everybody.
Great. Perfect. That makes total sense.
Yes. And it's not just for hardcore runners. Like, I'm not a runner. I was able to coach, beautifully. It's really a program for everyone. Kids in wheelchairs have done the program. It's very adaptable, and it's meant for everyone to participate. And it's not about how fast you finish. That's not the point. The point is just finishing.
Awesome. And I think that accessibility aspect of it is awesome, because I think a lot of people, or so I'm sure some people hear running and they think, oh, that's not for me. And it's for everyone. It doesn't matter. It's not really about it. I mean, it's about the running, but it's not about, finishing first. It's just
exactly. Yes. It's about accomplishing something, however you can accomplish it.
I'm curious, and sorry if this is like a crazy abstract question, but I mean, the program teaches obviously running, but also confidence, resilience, connection. How do you think those skills helped people cope now when we're all kind of isolated?
Oh, it's not an abstract question. I say that only because I happened to coach this season when all of the kids that I was coaching were learning hybrid. So they were at a school where 2 days a week they were learning at home in front of their screen, and Tuesdays a week they were in school. And there were lots of times when, a girl on the team had to isolate because she had contact with someone, and it was a stressful time for these girls and the coaches. It's a stressful time for everyone right now. When these girls got to get together, it was so beautiful to see them be able to interact and play and support one another and not be in front of a screen. And it, in particular this year, it was so magical to have that time for them to be together when they're pretty much apart. They're apart 4 out of the 7 days a week, and they're not used to that environment. They're used to an environment where they see their friends 5 days a week and have meaningful interactions, and they were so isolated that this year that connection was so important. And I had coached in the past, And you got more typical issues that the girls were dealing with, the things you would think about. Bullying, losing a friend, boys, girls, the more typical things. This year, it was really important that girls were bonding over how hard Zoom classes were, how they felt like they didn't, and not at the fault of a teacher or a school, but they just didn't feel like learning virtually, they had the support they needed. And they were able to talk to one another about that. Or how hard a test was when you didn't feel like you had all the skills to take the test, and how hard it was to concentrate online all day, and how it can be boring or hard or distracting, or how their little brother was annoying them on the screen next to them. They were really able to connect and share and have some sympathy and empathy for one another that I think was really meaningful.
That's awesome. I mean, that's a perfect illustration, I think, of how this is more than running.
Oh, it's so much more than running. Yeah.
So what are the plans for 2021? What's coming up for you guys?
Okay, well, for 2021, we're hoping, now that we know a lot more about COVID and we can clearly pivot our program to be fully outdoors and masked without, physical contact, we're hoping to have a bigger season in spring. And we're hoping, fingers crossed, we can pull off an actual 5K with a staggered start so that everyone's not participating at once, but everyone is able to come and participate fully. So that's what we're hoping to pull off in spring. It will still be a shortened season. The teams will likely still be smaller, but we hope to have more teams participating and do a staggered start 5K. Fingers crossed.
Awesome. So cool. I guess my final two questions are broader, but I want to make sure that we speak to them directly. First one is who should join Girls on the Run? Who should get involved, both on the side of the girls and on the side of volunteers? What would draw them in?
I would say girls, any girl. I mean, our teams are such a beautiful melting pot of personalities and types. And, we've got the athletic girl, we've got the bookworm girl, every little girl. And that's what makes this program so great. The more diverse, the better, it makes a nice little melting pot of a team. And for the coaches, which we're always looking for volunteer coaches, I would say anyone who thinks investing in little girls and investing in young women in our community is an important way to build our community, you would be a great volunteer. It does not matter if you're not a runner. I am not a runner. I still managed to coach and have a great time. No one was dragging me, dragging me through a 5K finish line. That's not what it's about. Yeah, those would be my recommendations for who would be a good fit for us. And then when we do have a normal 5K event, when COVID is over, we always are looking for buddy runners. And our big 5K events, we don't like any girl in our program to run alone. And not all parents or guardians can keep up with their kid. So we do always look for volunteer buddy runners. So if you are a runner, there is a way to give back that's easy and simple and a one-day commitment.
That's awesome. I think that's great. There are a lot of people out there running or think they're going to start running in 2021 when their New Year's resolution kicks in. This is a good way to make yourself stick to it.
Yes, it is.
A buddy runner. So say somebody, maybe they aren't going to volunteer, or that, they're not runners, or how else can they support you? Can they donate? Are there other programs that you guys do that they can get involved with or help out with?
They can always donate. Our website is www.gotr.buffalo.org. So GOTR, like Girls on the Run. So www.gotrbuffalo.org. There's a donate link right on top of the website. You'll see it. And of course, we fully understand these are really, really difficult economic times, and any dollar we receive is so very much appreciated. And it allows us to never turn down a girl who can't afford the program. It allows us to provide sneakers to girls who can't afford their own proper fitting sneakers or socks. And it's just a wonderful way to support young women in our community.
Awesome. Any parting words for the folks at home?
Thank you for listening. My gosh, I feel honored to be invited to talk about Girls on the Run. I was telling you earlier, I'm I'm sure most people are normally hoping I will stop talking about Girls on the Run. So it was nice to be asked rather than, just forcing people to listen to me talk about it. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. We were very, very happy to have you here, Julia. And I think people at home watching, Adventures, I think this is an incredible organization because, like Julia said, it's not about so much about the running. You're supporting girls. You're supporting the future by helping them build up so many different skills, so much resilience, so much connection, which are things that they need right now. And if nothing else, if you are looking towards 2021 and you're like, oh, man, this is the year I'm going to start running or something, volunteer to be a buddy runner because then you'll have a little bit of accountability. You'll do a little good in the process. So call Julia, email Julia, go to GOTRbuffalo.com. Did I get that right?
.org.
.org. I'm so sorry. GOTRbuffalo.org. Donate and get involved with this awesome organization. Thanks everybody for joining. This has been SERVPRO's Awesome Advent. We will see you tomorrow. Julie, anything else before we sign off?
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Bye, everybody.